You are welcome to the second episode of Ignite to Inspire. Today, we are going to walk through dealing with childhood trauma. And trauma, like we know it to be, is something that people have been through. A lot of people have been through childhood traumas. And healing from such trauma is the challenge now. And we are going to walk through how to do that so that you are free from all the issues that come with such an experience. But before I do that, let me walk you through with Dr. Dan Langberg how he defined trauma. And it is said that trauma is an experience of suffering so overwhelming that it destroys normal human ways of living. The situation you have been through as a child might even affect the way you relate to people now that you're an adult. You may not trust anybody, and it can affect your sleep, it can affect your emotions, it can affect the very facet of your life because the experience that you went through is not anything that people will wish for themselves. The wounds of trauma are something that is invisible. People do not see it. You walk around, you go to work, you talk normal, but people are not able to gauge what you've been through and the reason you portray certain character. And that might be as a result of what you have been through as a child. There is this lady who is now in her 30s. As a child, at the age of 10, she was subjected into sexual abuse by people she trusted. And because there was no way she could express what she has been through, it's been with her. Now she goes to work. She has a nice job. She goes to work, walks around normal, but does not trust anybody, irrespective of the way you behave towards her. In her mind and what she portrays, is just a distrust for everyone around her because as a child, she was betrayed. And that is what childhood trauma actually does. You see, trauma that people are subjected to when they are kids or when they are children, it makes them feel that the world is unsafe and that people cannot be trusted. And that could explain the reason you might not have a trust for your husband, for your wife, even for your kids and siblings. And you would not be able sometimes to tell from the fact that it is as a result of what you have been through as a child. Because when you are a child and you go through such situations, it's a time that the brain, your personality is developing. So it takes it up and develops all together. And that is why you are not able to tell the reason you portray yourself the way you do now. And these behaviors are natural responses to the environment that you cannot trust. However, the people that see you, that interact with you, do not know where you have been, the pains you have been through. And so they judge you the way they want. Sometimes they say you are stubborn. Yes, look like a child in school where canes are the only punishment around. I am not condemning that if you do it the right way. But some children are subjected to so much torture such that when they grow up, the way we call them and the way they behave, because they don't seem to fear that kind of punishment again. And it doesn't matter how you want to punish them, they don't care, because as children, many of these things they've been through it. But is that the way to go? Let me remind you of Joseph when you read Genesis chapter 37 through to 50, where as a child he was just stripped of his own coat, what we call the coat of many colors, gifted to him by his father. He was put into a pit by his own siblings. He was sold into slavery. And at the time that he thought he was okay, then the woman comes in, the Almighty, unsuspecting. Joseph is framed, put into prison. You see, at the time, now when we read the Bible, we think that and we know that it is all plan, one of the plans that God, through which Joseph had to rise up to save his own people. But you see, Joseph did not have the hindsight to be able to determine what was happening. In his mind, Joseph thought that, and it was true, he was betrayed by his own family, his siblings, sold him into slavery. He was put into a pit. His coat was stripped off. And as a child, if I were Joseph and I grew up, there is no way, if I can't trust my own siblings, how do I trust the next person that does not come close to my family? And many of you, many of us, people have gone through serious issues that are making them behave the way they behave now. The question is that how do we heal from this? Because you know what you have been through. Why don't you join me in our next episode so that we walk through how we can heal from this kind of situations? But before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, also the notification button, so that whenever there is a new video, you can get the alert and watch. Thank you. My name is Kwesi Ankoma Jr.